Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Let's see. I see the chat's going. We've got Anna, hello. Kimberly, Christy, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully, we can. This should be a little bit more reliable than my YouTube live streams. Hey, Jonald, how are you? We hear you. Awesome, awesome. And Berlincy is just jumping off a client call. So actually, I gotta put my headphones in so I can hear her. Awesome. Perfect. Let me change my audio. We did a dry run this morning, but of course, things don't always work out as you want them to. Things like this, but the James is in the house. How are you? All righty. Let me get my earbuds hopefully synced up. There we go. Okie doke. How are you? Let's see. So while everybody is coming in, um, I would love to know. I mean, most of the names here I do recognize, which is awesome. I would love to know what is your self proclaimed level of ClickUp expertise, and have you played around with 4.0 yet? So I did see that ClickUp announced yesterday that it is live, which was pretty cool. I feel like the timing ended up being really, really good. So let me know, how well do you know ClickUp? How long you've been using it? And have you been playing around with 4.0? All right, Berlindsay, you ready? I see Berlindsay. Up. Send me a message in Teams if you need to. she's coming. She's coming. Like I said, she's coming off a client meeting. So that is great. And I love what I'm seeing in the chat. I've got clients, I've got friends, we've got LinkedIn friends, newsletter subscribers. So this is fantastic. My video is frozen. We got both of us there. Yay!
Hi, sorry, I was backstage. I was just talking to you, Jackie.
I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said, technical difficulties. Oops, we're back. I can see the chat. All right, one thing I want to ask before we get started is, on all of the chats on me and Berlincy's side, if you hover, there's a little bookmark that adds your chat to the Q&A. Let me know if you guys have that, because if you do or you don't, that will determine how we monitor the chat for questions for later. So let me know. My trusty audience, let me know if you guys can see that little bookmark as you hover over each of your chats. I don't. Bobby does not have it. Okay. Okay. No, that's okay. Maybe that's just an admin thing. All right. If nobody has it, maybe that's just an admin thing. So what?
That's fine. I'm gonna monitor the chat. If you have a question, drop it in there. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I'm only human, y'all. So if I miss one, be like, "B, it's up there. It's up there," and I will add them to the Q&A. And we've got some Q&A at the end.
Yes. So please ask your questions throughout. We have a lot to cover. We realize we may not get to cover all of it, so maybe we should switch over to the agenda. But maybe we can introduce ourselves first, and then we will do Q&A at the end. So I'm going to we got some other cool things up here. So as we're introducing ourselves, I'm going to throw up our first poll, and let's see. We'll start that. So ready? Berlincy, we ready?
We're ready.
All right. So welcome everyone. Let's see. I'm just going to put up just our lovely faces for right now. Perfect. Welcome. My name is Jackie Myslinski. I have seen a lot of your names. I know a lot of you in real life, which is fantastic. I am the founder of Productivity Nerd. So I like to call myself a recovering perfectionist, process junkie, and productivity nerd, which is how I got the name of my company. So I help clients to build business processes and then build workflows into ClickUp from those processes. And some of you here, I've worked with one-on-one. Berlincy and I also do some work with Tuck Consulting Group, who is fantastic. So I know there's usually no hidden secrets here. Everything is all transparent. So I'm so glad so many of you joined. And Berlincy, why don't you tell the group about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jackie. I'm super excited to be here. So I am Berlincy Tyler. I am the founder of Brightberry Consulting. Jackie and I work in partnership with Tuck, which is how I met this wonderful lady that I'm sure you all know. So I am at the cornerstone of beautiful systems. I used to be a brand designer, which is how I got into systems, because you can have a beautiful brand and, as Jackie likes to say, a horrible mess of a system on a back end. So we want to help you keep your clients by making things as efficient as possible. So I specialize in AI within your system so that we can automate your workflows and make the most of it and get things off of your plate. So you spend more time doing the things you love and less time doing the admin work that no one likes.
I love that. Love that. Yeah, we love calling out messes. Let's see. James, I can start now. Thank you, James. James is here. We couldn't start without James. So James is my favorite, one of my favorites. We will James's company started with the ClickUp note taker really early on, and we would just all shit talk about each other before other people got on, and then we would say, hey, go reference the note taker notes so you could see what we talked about you about. So thank you, James. All righty then. Brilliancy, you want to take us? See, we had this slide for our lovely faces, but you get to see us. Oh, wait, this thing is still scrolling. All right, this will be recorded. That's what that little scrolly thing is saying. Let's take that. Can I take that off the screen? It's always a comedy show when I'm hosting things. All right, then, Berlincy, you want to walk us through the agenda?
Absolutely. Thank you. So on today's agenda, we'll be going through some of the key features, the most noticeable things that you'll see when your workspace switches over to 4.0. So the first thing that you're going to see is the navigation bar. Total overhaul. It's going to be the most recognizable thing of your workspace being on 4.0. It has moved to the left-hand corner, but it's also added some really cool functionality. So there are a lot of new Click apps that we'll be going through. There's PTO, there's duration, there's a lot of new things, custom fields by task type. We may or may not get to that, but all of those things are also coming with 4.0. Also, your task view. So as you're working with individual tasks, a lot of things have moved, but I think they've moved to better places. So now you have the different sections underneath.
Oh, for Lindsay, we lost your audio and video. Oh, no. Well, I was going to piggyback on what she said about things are in new places, and that's going to be a recurring theme here. And I don't want you to have to go through a scavenger hunt. Be like, where the hell is this? How do I favorite that? So Bonancy and I have some of our favorite things that we want to highlight. But the main thing is the navigation. Well, the navigation bar, but also just where to find things, because things do look, it's still your same familiar ClickUp, but things are a little bit different. Oh, Belindsey, hopefully you come back to us. I'll continue on then. All right. So looking at the poll, we asked, what is your biggest challenge with ClickUp right now? So we have, I feel like I could have predicted this. Prioritizing work is number one. I hear that a lot, is how do I prioritize? How do we focus on what we need to do without getting distracted by the fires or shiny objects or things like that? All right. For Lindsay, she's back. Yay.
I'm back. Y'all. Yay. It must be Friday. Are we all taking tomorrow off since today is Friday? Because the technical difficulty is crazy.
This is life in live streaming. But we have a great crew here. So Berlindsey, I had pulled up the poll and saw that the most popular answer is prioritizing work. What is our biggest challenge? 50% is prioritizing work. So I think some of these things that we're going to show you today will help with that. We have knowing what's important to do today as number two. That if any of you on here work with me, that's something that we talk about a lot. And I'm sure Berlindsey covers things like that with her AI systems that she creates. So let's just jump right into it. All right, we'll get rid of the slide. We will get this up. Ta-da! All right, first things first. Every time I say that, I hear Imagine Dragons Believer, because my kids always sing it. First things first, da, da, da. I want to show you where it is to turn on. I don't know what has happened since, this demo workspace of mine. automatically came with 4.0, so that doesn't help. I want to show you where it is so you can turn it on. Alrighty, for admins, members can't see this, but for admins, I wonder if this is okay. Prior to today, because yesterday ClickUp launched this, so Berlincy, please correct me if I'm wrong. There used to be an option here that said try 4.0 just for me, and admins could turn it on for them and tinker around with it. And then you had the option to switch it on for everybody. I'm wondering if since ClickUp officially announced this yesterday, if that's gone. See, this is why I called this an imperfect demo, because we're going to stumble around things when we find it. So, all right, let's get that poll out of the way. So this is where it is in your settings. So if your option is not there for admins, then you're just going to have to flip a switch and pray for the best. But that's why you guys are here. All right, let's go back to the home. First thing we're going to talk about, oh, that's my regular workspace. Let's go back to the demo. Ha. Da-da-da. So I'm going to drive the agenda. Berlinzy is going to chime in with her 2 cents, and she's got a lot of great insights and things that she loves and wants to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is the navigation, which is this sidebar here. It looks very different. We got spaces, chat, planner, which is brand new. Brain has its own thing. Docs, dashboards, forms, and then there's more. Here we can pin if, let's say, I want timesheets pinned, and let's say I don't want the team hub pinned. Oopsie. Oh, all right. I'm jumping ahead. But we'll cover the homepage and the navigations, and then I can show you how to customize this. So the main thing, if we go to home used to be my tasks. And I want to try not to go back and forth between this is how it used to be and this is what it is now. But I feel like that's the only way we're going to learn. So here we've got my tasks, which used to be home. It defaults you to your inbox, excuse me, which are your notifications. So here I got notification from Berlincy. Here we could see replies to comments in ClickUp and things like that. So our ClickUp 4.0 is very focused on chat and communication and collaboration, right? Berlincy, I feel like that's kind of what we've noticed.
Absolutely. Because you don't want communications to get lost. People are leaving comments. They're telling you, well, I've made this update. And you need to, especially for AI, your system's only as good as the information you put in it. So you want to make sure you're leaving the status updates on the task. So we use the AI bots to come in and make your marketing material, give a status report, write up an email to a client. It's got all the context. So very much communication focused. Yep.
All right. Awesome. Then you do have, now that I'm here, now I should show you how to customize this. So I intentionally left a lot of this untouched because we wanted to show you live. And Berlincy and I went through yesterday and went, why the hell are some of these things not working? Because I didn't turn them on because we want to show you them. We want to show you them live here. So this top section is not customizable. I would love if I still get my tasks as the first thing I click on, but that is not available right now. But everything below this, we can customize. Everything on the sidebar here, we can customize. So let me show you how to do that, because this is where you go, I don't know where that is, or how do I not make something show up? So if you come down to the more, this is where you can pin and unpin what shows up on your left navigation bar. And then if we come to the customize, this is where we get to have fun. So you can also customize the navigation. Again, is that left sidebar. Home is where we showed you where you have your inbox, replies, things like this. So you can check whatever you want. See, inbox is your notifications. Can't check that off. Can't check off replies. But assigned comments, my tasks, drafts, posts. But let's see, I'm still really not clear on the difference between a chat post and a chat announcement and just a message. So I don't know if that's worth chatting about it, or if you've seen any organizations using that well.
I think that's a webinar that's a topic for a whole new webinar to go over all the good things that you can do with chat, especially if your organization is trying to replace Slack and use ClickUp for one app to do them all. I think we're going to have to come back, Jackie.
All right. So let us know in the chat if there's things that we're going over that we're glancing over quickly. If it's something that you would be interested in seeing more in depth, whether we make a YouTube video or we do another live stream, please let us know. So here's where you can customize what you see on the home. Now the sections, I did not add any new sections yet because I want to show you how to do these on the fly. But similar to Slack or Teams, where you can make different sections for different things, you can do that in ClickUp. And I'm going to use things very liberally, which if you've heard me talk ever, I use things a lot. Things in ClickUp, lists, tasks, documents, dashboards, forms, all of those things can be grouped together in sections, which has been pretty cool. And then themes, that's your color. Yeah, pretty straightforward. And then our chat is here. So every space, list, and folder, it's kind of crazy, has a chat channel. But if you don't favorite it or don't follow it, it will show here. That's another thing we'll touch on. Follower or watchers are now called followers. So there's a little bit of terminology change. So this is where your chat is. Now, Brilliancy, I had on our outline to cover making custom sections. I feel like we probably put that in that order intentionally. But do you think we should touch on it when we get to the hubs?
Totally up to you. What do you think? I feel like I love sections. I've got a section for everything.
Berlitzi showed me how to use sections in a way that I had not even thought of. So I was super excited. Let's jump into the Click apps, because then we can show the sections when it's a little bit more relevant. All right. Then Mike A wants to know how he could be. So Berlitzi, and for the class, Mike, who is on this, somehow got added as a watcher on almost every single task in their workspace. And one meeting's like, Jackie, why am I getting notified on everything? And then the rest of the class joked around that, haha, Mike's micromanaging everybody and is up their ass and really wants to know what everybody's doing. And Mike's popping up in tasks that have nothing to do with him. So thank you.
So, Mike, I feel his pain. I, too, create a lot of stuff in my client's workspace, and I get notified about everything. It's like information overload. So, Mike, I feel you.
Yes, and I feel like customizing notifications, if we have time at the end, we could get to that. But yeah, let us know if you want a video on that. But anywho, we want to highlight some very specific Click apps. The first one is, where the hell is it? Not here. Okay, so I lied. Some of them are Click apps. Some of them are just new features. Work schedule. This is awesome because this is going to feed into something else. These are like dependent Click apps and functionalities. We got to turn one on before we can use something else. And Mike is lost now. Oh my God. You guys are distracting me too much. I'm like a squirrel. All right. So the first thing I do suggest is setting your public holidays. So this is, and then add days off. So let's say we want Black Friday off. We want the day after day after Christmas, the day before Christmas. We want to give our folks New Year's Eve off, maybe whatever. You can come in here per your company and set your working days and non-working days. So why? I guess it didn't do 2026 yet for the federal holidays, but that's okay. So that's the first thing I would do. Second, I would change your working schedule. This is based on your workspace, not if you're going to make Mike work on Saturday. This is your general workspace schedule, because this is going to come into play in your workload view. This is going to come into play in your AI planner. So set your working days. So I'm saying 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock. You can set that to be whatever you would like. And then let's see. Now we can go into the Click apps. Piggybacking on this is non-working days. So if anybody likes to be heavy in Gantt charts and you shift something and it falls on a Saturday, and then if it's a 5-day task, you lose 2 days. We can now say skip non-working days. So this also applies when you apply templates that you have dates mapped into. You could say, apply the template, and if a date falls on a Saturday, it will skip that. So this has been super critical for scheduling. Brilliant, you want to talk about the duration while we're on this topic?
Love duration.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it, especially if you're setting up like project plan templates and you know a certain item should take like 7 days, or you want to give legal like 3 days to look something over. Duration is one of the best ways you can do that, especially if you use it in conjunction with skip non-working days, as well as your dependencies and relationships. You put those durations in there essentially with a sophisticated setup. You set your project go live date, everything backfills for you. And so you know exactly how long you've got on your project plan. And I will say, little sneak peek, baselines are also
Yes.
coming. So if you
Yeah,
set it
talk
up
about that.
correctly with your durations, baselines are coming where you can then toggle on the baseline for your initial project plan, what you left out the gate with, what you started in flight with. And if something happens, you put your project on hold, requirements change, anything of that nature, and you've got to come back and do a large overhaul of your dates, you can establish a new baseline. And then you can also do custom reporting on those baseline dates so you can see how long you have since things have changed. So just a little sneak peek, that's also coming.
Yes.
So yes, set your durations in your templates. Very, very helpful.
Yes. And the other thing in the templates, I'm going to sincerely apologize if you just said this. I was reading the chat and trying to answer questions, so I was half listening. But if in a template you have a start date of Monday and a 2-day duration, it's gonna, or I'm sorry, if you have a 2-day duration and then you set the start date for Monday, it's gonna automatically fill the due date in for 2 days later, which is
Absolutely.
very fun.
Or the opposite way, if you've got a due date and you set your due date and you've got a duration of 7 days, it will tell you when to get started, which is how that beautiful, it's gorgeous when it works. You've got your dependency set up with your durations in your project template. You set one date and all the dates get filled. It's a beautiful thing to
Yes. All right, John, I'm going to put your question to the Q&A. All right. The other thing I wanted to lean into while we're talking about this, ready? I want a drum roll because a lot of people have been really pissed off about this. Use relative dates. So tell me this should have been a poll. Tell me in the chat, how irritating is it when a date would say yesterday or 5 days ago instead of December 9th? Like, I know Christy here got really mad about that. That just irritated me so much. So now you can have real dates. So like today is December 11th. Is it? Yes. Instead of having it say today. So turning this on keeps it as a relative date. Turning it off makes it say December 11th. Insert curse words. Yes, Pam, my favorite. So if you hate that, if you get irrationally mad at that, which I used to do, go turn that off. All right, a couple new ones. AI note taker. This has to be turned on, and I think, Brilliancy, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is an extra add-on, like to pay for, or you may get so many hours a month recorded for free, and then if you want more, you may have to add some hours to that. But the AI note taker is fantastic. If anybody who's worked with me, my note taker joins every call because I don't remember anything. And what I really love about it is I could go back to a call that I had with a company and say, and I've literally done this. I've said, what decision did we make about setting up projects as a task or projects as a list? Or what did they decide was the approval process for X? And it's way smarter than me, and it'll pull it up. So I love the AI note taker. I know there's Fireflies and Otter and all sort of stuff like that, but I love this because, again, the theme of today is bringing everything together. Chat is where your work is. The notes are where your work is. And I love, 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 love the note taker. And then chat has to be turned on too. So I won't go too much into that. But let's see, is there those were the things on our list. Is there anything else you want to just touch on or highlight?
I think you covered it pretty much all, Jackie.
Okay.
Those are the best ones. Those are the best ones for sure.
Awesome. Then we'll jump out of here. And this is our work schedule. I don't think there was anything else here. So our work schedule, what was the thing? No, there was something you and I chatted about this morning that I said I need to show. Oh, it was in the planner. Yes.
All right. Tied to setting your working hours. So make sure your planner is on right. I'll let you get into it.
Yes. Alrighty, then the Teams Hub. That was one of the next. I know I saw it in the chat. Somebody said that they're the only one in their workspace, and who Missy said, I'm the only person using it on my team, so I have a banner prompting me to set it up for all. Okay, let us know set up what. So maybe I missed that. But next, we want to go show you the Teams Hub. Do I want to say my changes? Yes, please. Thank you. Alrighty, the Teams Hub. Can you make a new team here? You can. You have to. You used to have to do this in the back end. So at a lot of companies, we may have a marketing team. We may have a development team. We may have operations. We may have professional services. We may have sales. It's a department. Pretty straightforward. But what I love about this is pre-built. So you can see, I'll take you through all this. We've got bookmarks. So is there somewhere on the interwebs that your team always needs to go to? We've got who are the members of your team. Here you can put what spaces and lists so your team use most often. So Berlincy and I on our fake professional services team are in the implementation plan and the project management. And here you have a feed of all of the things that we are working on. You can put some information up here. Let's see. Okay, that's public. So you can see that. And then you've got all of these tabs are pre-built, which I feel like is fantastic. So much of ClickUp is so open-ended that I know it causes confusion of when and why should I have this view, or how do I do that? But this is pre-built. We don't have to think. We don't have to think about this, which is fun. So analytics. So here we could see I'm online. This is all the stuff I've been working on. Berlincy's offline. This is like when Facebook first came out with newsfeed and we could see all the things people did and it was kind of creepy. I feel like that's kind of what this is. I'd be like, oh, when is Berlincy logging into ClickUp? And then priorities. Priorities is new too. We should have touched on that in the Click apps. Lineup is now called priorities. So let me go back. Let me rewind for a second. My tasks, manage cards, priorities. So I love using this. Where the hell did it go?
I think you just turned it off.
Did I? Was it there?
It was there. You got to turn it back on.
I'm an idiot. There we go.
It's okay. Yes, there we go.
So priorities used to be called lineup. And I love this because usually, and I don't do it every day, but even though I love ClickUp and I can't work without it, I'll still make a Post-it note with what are the 2 most important things I have to get done that day. So it's right in front of my face and I stick it on my monitor. Priorities are like that in ClickUp. You can put a task here. Let's say create slides. That was Berlincy's, but actually this will be a fun thing. I can add something to somebody else's priorities. I think you could do it from here. There we go. You can click add to Berlincy's priorities, and I'll add it to mine just so we can, or I'll find something else to add. Do a dry run. Yeah, we did that this morning. That was important. So here is a new quick way to add something to your priorities, aka lineup, which is here. And then if we go back to our team hub, there we go. Sometimes I forget why I went and did things. Now we can see these are all of the things that we have set as our priorities. So if I'm assigned a task, though, and I make it an urgent priority flag, that won't show here. This is only if it gets added to the lineup, which is now priorities. But it's still cool because, again, I say all the time, you cannot run and hide from anything in ClickUp. Any click you make, anything you do is all traceable and trackable. And Mike is going to be a watcher on every single task. Mike's going to jump into everybody's workspace who's here and follow all of their tasks.
You're going to have a rogue Mike.
Yeah. Mike wants to know how he can add a priority to all DJ employees. Well, maybe you can make an agent for that. Oh my goodness.
You see me nodding in the background. I love agents. I don't care what they do. We can do it.
Yes. So, all right. So we got the feed again, like our news feed on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. We could see everything everybody did. So then, all right. I'm not sure why we have that because we've got everybody's face here. Let's see what happens if I click on my name. Aha, this sidebar. This I really, really love too. This you can also access from this little briefcase. It's super itty bitty tiny. Let's see if I want. This little bitty bitty briefcase. I love this because no matter where you are in ClickUp, if you say, let me check what I have to do today, you click on that and here's my today tasks, my overdue tasks. And this is like a mini glimpse into your, what used to be the homepage. So, and then I got.
And then also, Jackie,
Yeah,
really fun thing about this one, you can actually switch who you're looking at. So if you like click on
can
the
you
little
right from
arrow,
here?
right from here,
No, can you?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
And so now you can see other people.
I always wondered if there, I always thought I would have to go back and find you as an assignee somewhere. Okay, this I legit did not know. That is pretty cool. All right, I'm very happy. See, now DJ, you could just go in here and spy on everybody really, really, really fast.
And you can add stuff to their priorities right from here.
Yes. Yep. Awesome. And then this is where the PTO comes in. But it wasn't working for me as this morning. So I'm going to show you this in the workload view later if it works. But what you can do here is I could say, I want to be off from here to here and hit save. And it doesn't work. All right. I loaded this up as a slide though. So hold on a second. I'm going to take that off. I loaded this up as a slide because I had it working in somebody else's workspace. So here you put in the days you want off, and in some workspaces it sticks. In mine, it doesn't. So maybe I'll submit another bug ticket. But that's how you do it. And then what's awesome about this is if somebody goes to schedule a task assigned to me on a date that I am off, it's going to get that pop-up that says that Jackie is away or whatever it says. It's really tiny, but Jackie is away on that day. So it's not going to prevent it's not going to physically prevent you from assigning something to somebody, which that would be really damn cool. But at least you get that pop-up that says, Jackie's unavailable. Please leave a message. Assign this task to someone else. So this is what I love about the holidays and the time off. So also I can come in here and see when she's got time off instead of, I don't know, going to find her Teams or find her Google Calendar or whatever. I hope that maybe some of your brains are spinning on like new processes or new just company policies you can have potentially of having to do fewer things and more, or having to do more things in more places. Like go fill out PTO here, go put PTO on your calendar. Granted, you probably still have to block off your calendar, but if everybody's working in ClickUp, this is going to be a really quick way to just see what everybody's got going on.
Absolutely. And I will give a little tidbit on the inside for this one. They do have a PTO API. So if you are integrated with something and you would like to like bring in your PTO time from another platform, that is coming Q4. Q4 is over. So it's already here. It's live. So if you like things like that, like I do, because I love things like that, it is amazing.
Awesome. Wonderful. So on the stand up, you can also see everybody on your team, all the stuff that they've done. But again, if the data is not in ClickUp, it's not going to tell you anything. So that being said, workload. This is what I really wanted to show you, that PTO, because in the past, we have jerry-rigged together PTO systems to make tasks assigned to me with 8 hours a day that I'm not working to make this workload view be useful. But it's not working right now. But let's go over to Christmas because we put Christmas is as a holiday. I guess I don't know why some of these are fully blocked off, but here it's saying I have 0 capacity. It's all red because that is one of my days off. And if we were to move, if I were to try to move this, there we go. If I were to try to move this task over here, it's giving me red because Berlincy is off because of the holidays, and it's giving me a 1 hour full capacity, so this, hopefully you're seeing this all come full circle now. We've got the working schedule, which is your holidays and any personal time off and things like that. So the workload view is getting much, much better. Due dates, things like that are getting much better. And then timesheets, Some of us use ClickUp for time, some of us don't, so I won't go too much into that. But let's see. Yes, Pam, I know PTO should not be so hard to track, and time should not be so hard to track either, but I don't know why it's like pulling teeth to get some people to track time.
I think I'm the person missing teeth. It's so hard because I just start the work, and by the time it's finished, I'm like, oh, I didn't start the time tracker. Yeah, sorry, guilty.
I don't know if it's just my crazy brain, but literally, if I don't know how people at the end of the week say, "Oh, let me go back and remember everything I did," because I can't do that. I literally click. I've got all my work, my client work, my internal work, my operations work, and I just click the timer as soon as I start it because I'll forget. My brain just doesn't work that way.
See, I have to go back and see like what's on my schedule, and I go from that. So like I know my meeting ran for like 45 minutes, so I spent this time with there, and so like any little thing I have to add it to my calendar. And you guys, Jackie's gonna get to the calendar in a minute. You can actually put the task on your calendar. So if you work like me and you go back and check your calendar at the end of the week to see how much time you spent on stuff, we're gonna get to that in just a minute.
Yeah, and Pam says, I don't know what I did 5 minutes ago, not Monday. Yes, me too. All right, let's jump into the task view because that's where a lot of things are very, very different. So let's come over to spaces. Let's come over to our list here of what we've been working on. And another thing you may notice is the views up here are all now nicely color coded. I have to say though, I feel like the docs, they kind of ripped off Google Docs. It kind of looks like a little Google Doc there. Like the table kind of looks like Google Sheets. Come on, ClickUp. But whatever.
You can change those actually. If you need extra icons, I love,
Where?
So if you go into the gear icon for like customizing your view and you click the icon.
You're right.
You can change the icon and the color.
Why won't it let, aha. Oh, I like that. All right. Well, by default, ClickUp ripped off Google Docs and Google Sheets, but that's okay. I didn't realize you could do that. That is very cool. All righty. Then let's go into the task view because this is awesome. All right. So let's go to create demo outline. This is going to look very, very different. It's super streamlined and I really like it. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit and hopefully it doesn't affect how you guys see this too much. But the side thingy, and maybe it's too small. The side thingy here used to be in this big chunk on the right-hand side. And now these are really little. So we've got relationships, or first, if we collapse this, we've got comments, we've got relationships, we've got integrations, we've got web links, and then other stuff. So here we've got relationships. Here we've got anything that is integrated and any web links. So I do like that it gives us a number there so we know what's there. But it puts any dependencies right up top, which I love. That way you're not hunting for things because to say where, like, I like things right smack in front of my face. And this has been super helpful visually. Let's see. Oh, Shay found something fun. Awesome. Another thing, your custom fields here are now collapsible. And let's keep going. We don't have that bulky, chunky thing at the bottom with attachments. So that is helpful. And relationships are now here streamlined, which I really love. If you have a custom relationship, like let's see, I talked this morning with Pam. We talked about having a list for clients and then a list for all their projects. So if you've got a relationship called client and project, it's going to call it here. The only thing I don't love is this number because it's how many items are set in the relationship. So it could say clients 9. It's like, huh? Do I have 9 clients? Like, what's going on here? So, but I do like this makes them all tabs. And I just find this super streamlined to be able to read. I hope, Berlincy, I don't know if you know, but I hope there is going to be an option soon to customize or standardize what shows up here. Because if I change this task, it doesn't change it for all the tasks in that list. And that, really? So if I want to add, let's say time tracking, because again, I'm crazy. And if I come in here, if I'm in the project level and I come down to the subtask, I just want to hit the time tracking here. if I go to another task, that won't be there.
The time tracker. Jackie, we're going to have to call our people about that over at ClickUp.
So yeah, but anyway, this is so much more streamlined. Berlincy, though, is your favorite. Do you want to talk about how to favorite things that I will click as you narrate?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because now we can talk about sections too, and then we'll get into the AI planner. 20 minutes left. All right.
Okay, awesome. I'll go really quickly. This is one of my favorite new things in ClickUp. So from here, everyone knows and loves the little star icon. If you're on the little star, if you see now, you now have 3 different options to add things to your favorite. So you can add them to the sidebar, to the top, and to the bottom. You also now have sections. So if you add a new section, so you could add a section, like I have one for like active projects. Maybe you want a section for like, yes, perfect. Create. You can add a little icon, whatever little icon you want. Perfect. See, Jackie reads my mind. We go together like peanut butter and jelly.
I know. Yeah.
So you go ahead.
The tray is now called the bottom.
Yes.
So before, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, before you add it to the little tray, now you add it to the bottom. Jake, go ahead and add it to the bottom for us. And then it comes down at the bottom when you click out of it, and you can see it.
There you go. And then also we have a shortcut to our priorities, which was lineup previously.
So plenty of ways for you to manage your work. I absolutely love it. You can reorder them. Now, if you open the sidebar, the new navigation bar on the side, you have sections for your space. It might have popped down to the bottoms. I think it did. Active
there it is.
project.
So there is my active. And then we could go and rearrange these. If you want active projects up high, I could say, let's go put our active projects all the way up top. And you can do that.
And I absolutely love that. And you can also still add things across the top. If you see Jackie's got like her AI agent library up there. And so you can put it everywhere. But I personally love these, especially if I have like a private view that's running on all the tasks in the workspace where I need to see stuff that's assigned to me that's due in the next 7 days with my name on it. Like this is a beautiful way to keep everything nice and neat and organized. You can also collapse those little sections. So if you are supporting multiple departments, if you are managing multiple large-scale items and you got things in different places, I highly recommend you start building out your sections and working from there. It's one of my favorite new features.
Yes, absolutely. And it looks like we can have something in favorites and in a custom section, but previously you could only have it in the favorites would either show only on the sidebar or only up top. It was all or nothing. Now you can pick on the top, on the sidebar, down the bottom can only be docs and tasks, but everything else can be forms, dashboards. So I know we were going to talk about the planner soon, but I think this is a good segue to the docs and forms hub because this goes very well with your sections that you had wanted to talk about. So the other thing that has gotten a huge revamp is this is now called the Doc Hub. We have a dashboard hub and we have a form hub. If I had $1 for every time somebody asked me, Jackie, where the hell are our forms? I don't know why there's 5, 6 of these here. I have no idea why there's that many forms. But now all your forms, because they're all views, but did you put the form at the folder, the space, the list? I can't remember. So this is another reason to name things properly, because I know there's a lot of you, I'm not going to call out names, who've got 20 dashboards called dashboard and forms just end up called forms. So now this is the proof of the pudding here to be very particular about how we name things. But to Berlincy's point earlier, do you want to narrate through this, what we discovered yesterday?
You can also have sections for your docs and your forms. So when you you have favorites here now. So if you have a weekly meeting dashboard, a status report dashboard, anything that you're using like on a regular basis and you need quick access to it, you can also favorite those items over here. So
where's
like if
my
you have
dashboards? Am I losing my mind?
no,
Chat
you're not.
planner. Where's dashboards?
Zoom out a little bit.
What?
Is it nestled behind more? Oh,
Wait,
it's
there it is. Oh, there should be a toggle or like a scrolly bar down here. That's annoying.
it's
Anywho,
power
anywho.
users. We're always
Oh my,
discovering a little bug for ClickUp engineering. I'm sure
yes.
they're like, here they come again. Here they come.
Yes. So Berlindsey taught me this yesterday, and I am super excited. So if we want to bookmark, if we want to favorite this dashboard, but we don't want it in that general bucket of favorites, we're going to click favorite. We're going to make a new section, and I'm going to call this dashboards because I want to be able to favorite. Let's see. And I love my emojis. I want to have a dashboard section of favorites that's not mushed together with everything else. And let's say I'm going to also favorite, let's go back. I'll favorite that one, put it in the dashboard section. Same thing. Maybe I've got a form where I want to request donuts for the office meeting on Friday. Or here, I need a new computer, I need a new laptop, I need a new keyboard. I'm going to make a form section. And Berlindsey, I was pathetically excited when you showed me this yesterday. So now if we go to home, now we've got a dashboard section, a form section, a active project section, and then this is now our general bucket of favorites. So now, but it previously, every single dashboard form, it didn't matter. It went up top or it went in your general bucket of favorites. Now we can totally customize this and we can go back here and say, I want dashboards, forms, chats, channels, and I want it in this order now. And I love, 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 love how you can customize this.
Absolutely. Especially if you're working your company, like everybody in your organization uses ClickUp. You've got hundreds of project lists, lots of stuff going on. You can literally create your own sidebar now, pretty much. And just close the spaces down and just bookmark everything and make your own sidebar and customize it to the way that you work and what you need to see.
Yes. All right. Looking at time, we got 15 minutes. Let's run through the planner really quickly. And then we can, because I know there's been a lot of chat and I haven't been able to keep up on all of it. So let's do the planner. And then I just put up another poll. What area of ClickUp do you feel like you're underutilizing or that you don't still fully understand? And if the answer is other, throw that in the chat for us. So let's go to the planner. And Berlindsey, I got it working.
Oh, yay! Yay!
So, but I'm going to, let me stop this. So first things first though here, I'm going to start singing again. First thing you need to do is sync up your calendar, whether that is your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, sync up your calendar. You could do that in the back end in your settings. I'm not going to cover that because I'm assuming everybody should know how to do that. If not, shoot me a message afterwards. Then go to your gear because I was complaining to Berlindsey that it was scheduling tasks for me at 7:00 at night. I'm like, I don't want that. So time blocking here. You can customize this. So I have to drop the kiddos off at 8:00 on the bus. I don't want the AI planner scheduling tasks for me before 9:00 because that's when I check my emails. That's when I catch up on stuff. Saturday, no. Sunday, no. Mike, you have to work Saturday and Sunday. Sorry. There's the other thing, 6 p.m. Normally, I want to be done with like scheduled time block tasks by 5:00. And then if I work later than that, fine. But my husband's been known to bring me up a glass of wine if I'm up here too long. So I don't want ClickUp schedule me work unless I want to sit up here and drink for the night. So do this, and then that will put guardrails on for ClickUp. And Now is the beauty here. So this is a real representation of my calendar, just blocked out with. So this is why you guys can't schedule time with me. I'm slammed. Anywho, and normally I don't do meetings on Fridays. So for the sake of this demo, for this planner, you tell ClickUp what lists you want the planner to pull tasks from. You also have this assigned to me. You also have your priorities. And now what is awesome is based on the due date, the time estimate, and the priority. So that's the urgent, high, regular, or normal flag. ClickUp will auto suggest time blocks. So if I have a task due Friday that's 2 hours and a task due Tuesday that's 2 hours, it will auto schedule the Tuesday one sooner. So you come down here, even though it's not letting me scroll, you click on this lightning bolt, and that's going to auto pick a time block for you. Now this guy, I think we put in there. So this is a 4-hour task. So I don't know if you saw here, but it just changed what was in that slot. So this is probably a higher priority. And if we go to the following week, it will block this up. So this is a 4-hour task. So it will find multiple blocks to put this task in for you to work on this. Now, what I really like about this for people who work out of their calendar, so if Berlincy says, I'm going to work on building an AI agent for a client, and I don't know, I'm estimating it's going to take 2 hours. If you come to this, now you see the task it's associated to, you click confirm work session. Oh, see, it just brought up my other calendar. Why does it keep doing that? So it should confirm this. Oh, probably because it put it on my real calendar. But what it does now is it puts this as an actual event on. Yes, that's why it's doing this. It puts it as an actual event on your real calendar. So then if you're looking at your Teams or your Google Calendar to say, what meetings do I have today? What do I have to work on? This is scheduling your time block, and it's hard coding it into your real calendar. So you don't forget it. Because again, the due date of this, if we click into this task, this isn't due until January 8th, but it's a 4-hour task. And again, this is our demo, so there's nothing else in here yet, but it's going to break up that 4-hour chunk to times that I can work on it. So I love, love, love this. It's gotten way better. It used to suck, it used to auto suggest tasks that I had closed and ones that didn't meet my filter. And it wouldn't let you, like here you could say stop auto scheduling. It wouldn't let me stop auto scheduling it. So I love this. This is great. Any other? Yeah.
I too love this because if you add it on the initial ad, it's kind of just like a soft hold. So if you want to prioritize having client meetings and something comes up at like 10 a.m. on Monday, you got a new hour meeting, this is going to automatically rearrange your work session versus if you confirm it, like Jackie showed, it's going to add like a solid hold for your working session. So I love the flexibility there. So you can keep your calendar open, but the free blocks that you do have, you know what you should be working on based on priority.
Yes. And I just want to note too that you have to pick the list you want the planner to pull from. And if you want it to auto schedule, you do have to tell it that. That's the only downfall is it's not just going to say, oh, Jackie's got 5 tasks due this week. Let me do this. You have to tell it that I want this one to find a time automatically, but maybe that will get better over time. We shall see. All right. I had PTO out of office as the last. Oh no. Here, Berlincy wanted to show this. Berlincy, why don't you talk about? Oh, I didn't turn it on. The AI note taker, how you can force it to a meeting. That was something that you were excited about that one. Yeah. Let me.
This is I
gotta turn it on.
One.
Yeah. Let's go back.
So when you have set up note taker, so you've connected your Google Calendar, you now get this little button called AI Notes and AI Note Taker. And so you can see, and then so if you click on the little AI Notes section, you get the AI Note Taker
Yes.
settings. So you can pick which calendar to automatically join meetings for. So if you've got like separated calendars, you can put that in there. But also, if you click on it, it's also got a little like a little spot where you can put the URL of your meeting. So if you click on your little AI notes, you have a video call that you're in, or maybe you quickly hopped on a call with your teammate. The conversation's getting interesting. There's things that need to be tracked. Everything's going really well, and you want a record of it so you can go back because you know it's going to make a doc. And then in your doc, you can highlight things to make a task. So maybe you want that to happen. You paste the link for the call to record. So you just grab it from like sharing your Teams or your Zoom meeting. You paste it here. You can send your note taker to wherever you need it to go. Or perhaps you're double booked and there's a meeting happening and you can't be there. You can send your note taker to take notes on your behalf. One of my favorite features.
Yes. And so since I don't have actual, oh, here we go. So if these meetings had calls, which they do on my real calendar, that AI note taker is toggled and it will join automatically. But yes, you can force it now, which I love. And then if we go back to the Docs Hub, I don't have any here, but there is a section here for meeting notes. All of your meeting notes will show here as their own thing, which I really love. And oh, this is another thing coming. So for like DJ, who we have 12 note takers show up to a call and only 5 real people, one of the things that is going to be available soon-ish, I hope, is there's going to be a meeting, AI meeting hub, where you're going to be able to select a meeting and say, only have one master note taker, and then share that with everybody, like add a comment to all the attendees afterwards. Or do you want every person to have their own note taker attend? So I think that's going to be huge as well. So you don't have 27 note takers in a call.
Absolutely.
All righty. Then we could go. We did not leave enough time for the Q&A, but I see some questions. So why don't we run through as many as we can, and then what our promise to you is, if we don't get to your question, we do get the chat, like a copy of the chat after the fact. We can go and we can send out an email to everybody who attended and answer some of those questions if we don't get to them. That sound like a plan? Mike wants us. I know. So. Poor Mike is getting so picked on today. Good thing he's got a thick skin.
Jackie, I'm going to go ahead and start our last poll about what feature will you start using now. So I'm going to start it. And then I like to take the first question because I noticed from the last poll, which area of ClickUp are you underutilizing or don't fully understand? The top answer was automations. And Pam, I'm going to take your question. It's the last one in the chat. It's the one I see, but it also relates to automation. So Pam says, if people create where is it? How do I put it on a thing?
Oh, here I can, you talk, I'll put it on the thing. Oh, there you go.
If peeps create a list for themselves at the everything level, would that work as the list to pull into the planner? There is an automation that you can create at the everything level where you don't have to make a list. But if you set up an automation where whenever a task, the assigning changes to you, you can add that task to your personal list and then use your personal list in the planner. And so that way you don't even have to track it, but if you have something that's assigned to you, add it to your personal planner, and then your personal list is what you have in your planner. So that would work as well. And you can do that at the everything level without making views that kind of clutters up your workspace, because we keep things lean and efficient.
Yes. And not to pick on you, Pam, but you can't create a list at the everything level. Everything. It's just, and Pam and I had a call this morning. Pam knows I'm picking on her with love. You can't make a list at the everything level, but the everything gives you those filtered views and slicing and dicing of everything that you have. But I do love that suggestion. Awesome. All righty. Let's see. How do we get that one off? There we go.
I have no food. Okay, yes.
You want to grab one? Let's see. Jonald, you may have to send me an email. You asked, would we have automation management? So I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, but that is a fantastic question. So shoot me a message, shoot me an email. You have my email with what specifically you mean, because there is some management of agents and automations that exist now, but I'd love to know exactly what you mean.
Awesome.
All right, let's try to get through some of these quick questions. We've got Bobby asked, does setting holidays and time off affect the entire workspace or just my personal schedule? This is great. So the holidays affect the entire workspace. That way, if you try to schedule anybody a task on New Year's Day, it will have that red dot, and you could still do it, but it'll show up visually. The time off is just your schedule. That will just affect your workload. If somebody tries to schedule a task for you, like what we showed here, it will show. See, the thingy is here. Let me take it off the screen because it's blocking it. So if you have time off and somebody tries to schedule a task with you, it will say it falls on your time off. So that is personal to you, but the holidays are for your entire workspace.
Absolutely. And then I think Melissa asks, can you create a template and save it in the task template? You absolutely can. So you can make a task template and save it. And then if you go into your list settings, you can also set that template to be the default template for every task inside of that space. So
That's
if you have
right.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I don't use a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. I think I'm figuring out your system, Jackie.
Good. Well, I mean, for a first time, this has been good. And I could stick on for 5 more minutes. I don't know about you, Berlindsey.
I've got, if people want to keep hanging out with us, I've got a few
I just have
minutes.
a call at the bottom of the hour I have to take, but let's see. Missy asked, and if you have to go, the recording will be sent out. I believe it's scheduled for an hour after it processes everything. So sometime today. So Missy asked, does your note taker ever disconnect for you? I will have it yes, that unfortunately, yes, I will have it toggled on and I will have a calendar set by default, and it just won't work. And that was a bug. If you're still having that problem now, I would submit. I just dropped my marker I've been holding. If that is still a problem for you, I would submit a bug ticket. I am grabbing that URL now to put it into the chat. But yeah, it has disconnected on me, and unfortunately it shouldn't. So where is my shortcuts? Bookmarks, bug form. There we go. I'm going to put the bug form in. Oh, it just opened it in a new window. That's not what I meant to do. So unfortunately, I have this bookmarked and use it a lot. I just put it in the chat. There's the ClickUp bug form. Alrighty. Will the planner? Did that one did get added? Do you want to take that one, Berlindsey?
Awesome. Yes, sure. Which one will the planner?
Oh, I'm sorry. It says. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me take the one off the screen. This is a great question. I love this. Will the planner adjust if a meeting gets scheduled on my calendar after I've identified time to work on it?
Yes. So if you use the AI note taker and you haven't hard coded that focus time into your schedule and you get an actual meeting that you have accepted, on top of that, the AI note taker will then adjust your task focus time to be on another day so that you can take your meeting so you're not double booked. So it will auto adjust versus if you actually confirm your working session and you want to block that time out, it will add a block on your actual calendar so people can't block that. So if you have something, it needs to be worked on Wednesday at 10 a.m. and you confirm that, it will hard code that no one can schedule. But if you just leave it as the suggestion and you get a meeting from 10 to 10:30, it's going to adjust that for you.
So one thing I just thought of as you were saying that, Berlindsey, is that when you confirm the working session, so when it's just purple, it means it's still suggesting. But when you say confirm work schedule and it puts it on your Google or your Outlook calendar, it puts it there as a busy event. So if you use Calendly, HubSpot meeting scheduler, or things like that, that hour that you told ClickUp, yes, I'm going to work on this thing, will now show up as unavailable on your Calendly, your whatever your calendar scheduler of choice is. So just beware of that. Is if you want to confirm a working session, but want to be flexible, that if somebody does want to meet with you, you can move that working session. Just be mindful of that.
I would just, if you want to be flexible, just don't confirm them and they'll auto adjust. Versus if you need to schedule like 4 hours to get this done to meet your deadline, you do want to confirm it so it blocks that time off for you on your scheduling, like your calendar, your Outlook. Jackie, you said perfectly.
Yeah, I like that. Don't confirm it, because then it'll just always auto adjust. All right, let's see. Bobby asked real quick, how would you use time estimates versus duration? I like this question.
Oh, I love this. I love this. So time estimates, that is connected to your planner. It's like, how long do you estimate this task will take to get done? So maybe it's writing like a marketing plan or drafting a document. It's probably going to take like 3 or 4 hours, versus duration is how long does someone have to get this done? So while the task itself might take 3 hours, they might have a week to do it. So your duration would be a week, and then your time estimate would be about 3 hours. So when you go to block off your schedule with the AI planner, it blocks off the 3 hours somewhere within that week to get it done.
Yes, that is a great explanation. And maybe another way to think of it too is the duration is the time between the start date and the due date. So like Berlindsey said, if you want to have a week to do it, the duration is days, or the time estimate is actual hours that you could spread across those days. It's really helpful in waterfall type projects, or a lot of times I'll use construction examples, like we have to pour the foundation before we could frame the house, before we could put up drywall. So if we have a week duration, that we can pour the concrete and it has to set, and then but maybe it's only 4 hours of working time. You like to use examples like that.
Oh, and that also brings up another really good point. If you work with contractors and you have a contractor for a set number of hours every week, and you're also using the workload view for capacity planning, and you set your time estimates to be 2 hours, you can then set the capacity for your contractors to be 10 to 20 hours a week. And so then you get a really accurate kind of estimate of how much time you have with your contractor every week. If they're meeting their capacity, if you give them extra tasks this week, or if you maybe need to take something off of their plate and reschedule it, it works really well with capacity planning.
I love that. That's a great suggestion. All right, let's see. We have one really long question, and there may have been others that we didn't get added, but let's see. Angela says, I don't know if Angela, if you're still here, is there a way to add 2 additional due dates to a single task? This may tie into the baselines, but she says, what we're trying to do, and thank you for adding the context, what we're trying to do is have one due date for when a copywriter needs to finish and another due date for when the email has to go out. We want the calendar view to show the published date, but we also need separate internal deadlines for our writers. Is there a feature to do this or a workaround? My suggestion, I've worked with a lot of agencies, a lot of consulting firms, professional services, and especially with marketing agencies. There is a very typical review, approval, or process, or copywriters has to do something before the next person has to do it, before it has to go out. My suggestion there is to make, so you said an email has to go out. I would make the task that email that has to go out, and the date of the task of the published date. But then what I always recommend is having subtasks for each person and the thing that they have to do by when. Because what I've found a lot of times is if we add the copywriter and the editor and the graphic designer all as assignees on a single task, maybe the copywriter's done, they mark it closed, and then the editor goes, well, where the hell's the task? It's gone. And like you said, you've got one due date that can be confusing. So I like to make the task as the deliverable, or the thing, like the big thing that's got to get done. and then the subtasks for copywriter assigned to Berlindsey, due on Monday. Editing, a second subtask assigned to me, due on Wednesday. Graphic designer, could probably work independently of that. Maybe their banners or whatever have to be done by Wednesday also. But creating individual subtasks for every individual piece of work that has to get done by a person by a certain date. But Berlindsey, I don't know if you could do custom date fields, but then it doesn't show up as an overdue or a deadline or anything like that. So do you have any creative ways you've done something like that?
Oh goodness. I always tell my clients, there's like 100 ways to do something in ClickUp. You can absolutely have it your way with ClickUp. And I know Angela got a few suggestions from others in the chat as well on ways that they've set up similar items. I would just like to highlight there are a lot of ways to use automation for that. And then also in the calendar, I'm not sure if you've seen the feature, but if you do have a custom date field on your task, you can also add that as a line item in the calendar view. You just have to toggle it on to pull in more than just the task start and due date. But I do agree with Jackie. If these are things that people need to be checking off, I would definitely either set up subtasks or some type of dependency relationship between them. So each team or each person gets their own task. And then you name it, this is the go live date or this is the publish date versus this is the copywriter task. And so that way they fall on the calendar. But if you do end up using like a high level structure overview and you've got a publish date on there, you can toggle the publish date on in the calendar. Just hit that little gear icon to customize your view and you tell it what dates to pull for you.
There we go. And I did see now people's responses. So thank you to everybody who attended for jumping and answering people's questions. That's fantastic. Just looking to see if there's anything else we missed other than some of the sarcastic, funny comments of adding Mike to everything.
No, I think you had a really good crowd. Everyone was super engaged. I love webinars that are super engaging. I loved seeing the suggestions from other ClickUp users. I hope everybody walked away today with something new or something to think about or a new way to implement it. And if you need help, Jack is one call away and I'm one call away too.
Oh, that's right. We have our buttons here. Berlindsey wanted me to throw this up. If you would like to pick her brain, or if you're interested in potentially working with her, that is her link to schedule a 15-minute call to get to know her a little bit better. Everybody who is on here is on my newsletter list. So you're stuck hearing from me unless you unsubscribe, which is fine. And we had Berlindsey's LinkedIn. So I'll leave that up for a little bit if you want to get in touch with her. And yeah, so looking at the polls, everybody's most excited about the Teams Hub. That I would not have guessed. So the Teams Hub and the out of office days, and tied for third is the AI planner and the custom home. That's surprising, but this is why I love doing things like this, to see, because if I assume what you want, that's not going to help anybody. So we want to know what you want. So that's that. Yeah, maybe I can record something in a client's workspace, but then like blur things out where they're actually using a Team Hub really, really well. So maybe I can record that and do some fancy editing to blur some stuff out. Oh, look, and I still have a question up on the screen. Look at me.
No, it's okay.
All right, we'll take that off. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here with us. Let's see, is there anything left in the chat? Nope. I think that was it. 15 minutes over is not too bad.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I think we did really good. I hope everyone left with some great information, some new ways of thinking about working inside of ClickUp. Jackie, I'd like to thank you so much for having me. I have truly enjoyed today.
This is so much more fun to do it with somebody else. I mean, I don't mind talking to the camera for an hour, but it's a lot more fun doing it with you.
Absolutely. Well, listen, like I said, I'm one call away. So if you need me, call me, girl.
Yep, yep. All right, Donald, you're gonna send me an email. Perfect. Yeah, we can help you with that. And good. I'm glad. I mean, if people said spending an hour with us is worth it, I'll take that. So thank
Okay.
you again, everyone. I always love to host these. I love having other folks on with different perspectives because we all approach things differently. We all see things differently and think about things differently. And then having everybody here with different levels of expertise and backgrounds, and just some of the folks on here are agencies, some are manufacturing and production, some are utilities companies, some are consulting firms. So we've got so many different um, angles and perspectives of how to tackle different work, which is why I love doing these things, because it truly takes a village, whether we're raising little humans or we're trying to run a business. So I love doing things like this. So thank you for joining us, and you'll get the recording. So thank you, Berlincy. Thank you, everyone who joined, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.